Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother, and this is my January game chat and an update on the puppy we got last year. She is now a 1-year-old and she's extraordinarily sweet, and I thought I was a cat person, but I do love this dog. And the fun board game story with her is she's such a good dog, has rarely chews anything she's not supposed to, except one time we left out Pretty Princess, and she did chew the pink bracelet up, which rather devastated my daughter. But animals and board games can be a funny combo. So if you just have a cat that ends up in the board game box every time you play a game, or a dog that we always play on the floor, and so the dog is constantly walking over the games as we play. If you have any funny stories about your animals, please share. And our dog Callie constantly tries to be in the room when I film, and she'll bring in a toy and try to chew it underneath the table, so we can never let her be around. But she's adorable, she's sweet, and I think she's gonna be hanging out in here the rest of the time that I'm filming today. So for the holidays, we only got 4 games for the whole house for the holidays. I had other games I ordered, but they're coming later because they had pre-orders included. But we have played a fair number of games. I've been trying to play through games that I got in the past year and just hadn't had a time to play yet. And so this is what I'm going to be talking about today. The games that I got for Christmas for our kids were just these Funko stocking stuffers, and the more I play these, the more I'm just so happy about them, because we got out Coca-Cola Polar Rollers and we were up and playing within 30 seconds. It's essentially Pass the Pigs, where you roll the little rubber pig dice and they fall into different positions, and it's a push your luck. Well, this, you have little polar bear dice, and I like it better than Pass the Pigs because they have only certain tokens that you can get, and so your turn is limited. How often you can go and Pass the Pigs, you can keep on rolling and rolling and getting an additional 1 point, and it just, I don't know, it kind of can drag on a little bit. And this one, you only have a certain number of these little tokens you can get. So we love a push your luck game. It's been really fun. I've introduced it to a number of people, and it's been good across the board. The dice are wood polar bears instead of rubber, so I'm not sure how durable they're going to be long term. But besides that, this has been awesome. Winnie the Pooh is a really cute co-op game, but it is exactly a copy of their Frosty the Snowman game, where you're trying to get the cards in sequence, and you just are trading cards back and forth, or being able to move cards one over. So it was okay, but it's a little bit annoying that it's a game that I already have. And just in terms of gameplay, my 4-year-old plays a lot of games, and this was okay. We have a lot of games that are better, so this was a not as great choice for us. She was okay with it, but we're gonna play it pretty rarely. I think it's nice that it's co-op and that it was quick and easy to learn, but we have other games that are better. So we've been going through some games that have been sitting on the shelf that I'm finally getting to play, and one of the big ones was Oh No, Volcano. And I don't know why this took so long for me to play. I think I thought there was a bit of setup and it was going to be a beast to know the rules. I know I'm the person that explains all these rules, but the person that explains the rules to me for most games is my husband. He goes through and gets, like, I'd say 75 to 80% of it down and says, okay, we're trying to do this and we're doing this and this. And then I'm very happy to sit down and learn new games, but when I have to read through giant rule books, I don't like it. So it's so much nicer. So thank you, honey, for making it easier. My oldest son does this too. So I just have really good rules people around me, and then I'm happy to share it with other people, but I don't like big rule books. And this wasn't a big rule book though. It was pretty easy. It's just like a Plinko style game, and you're trying to collect treasure, and every time you're dropping a volcano ball down, and so people get knocked down the mountain, and it's very easy to figure out what to do. And this has one of my favorite elements for a game, which is whenever a negative thing happens to you, you get a little positive thing, and which is pretty great. So every time a lava ball knocks down one of your climbers, you get a gear card, which are better cards. And it makes it so you're not mad when you get knocked down the mountain. You've been given a little nice thing each time. So I played this with my children who are not good sports about bad things happening to them. And they were fine because they were given a good thing each time, a little good thing. And it still probably would have been better to have made it up, but they did okay. So it's competitive, but everybody did really well playing it and really wanted to play it over and over again. So this is definitely, I'm taking this to summer board game camps. This is, I think, sort of more geared for kids, but I have some adult game nights coming up, and I'm absolutely going to play this with them because everybody loves, it's Volcano, jewels, hot lava balls. I mean, if you need to sell somebody on a game, that's all you need to say, and they're gonna want to play it. So I was really excited about playing that. Now it's one of our go-tos with the kids. One of the other games that we finally got out and played is That's Pretty Clever. I had heard about, there's 4 of these games in this series, and people have been talking about these. They're on all sorts of lists, and it just took me ages to finally play it. And now I'm playing it semi-compulsively. There's an app version, but the app, once you know the rules, it's really good to play. But to learn the rules, it's I don't know. I think it's nice to have the physical copy of the game. And the app is really mostly for solo play. And this is if you're going to play with other people. But I love roll and writes, and this is going in a good spot in our roll and write collection because it's pretty easy to tell people you're trying to get the highest score. There are different colors of dice that go to different categories on the board, and you get bonuses along the way. So this is if somebody has played games like Quicks and are like, oh, okay, that's a cute family game, I want more. This is much more strategic with what you're trying to do. And it's funny because I was super hyped when I was playing the game and I got a high score. I got a 265 and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so amazing at this. And I looked at the leaderboards online, and people were getting, I think 323 was like the high score there, and all these other people had over 300. And I thought, what am I missing here? So I posted in one of my Facebook board game groups, like, what are you supposed to do for That's So Clover? And man, the people delivered. Apparently, they've cracked this one, at least for single player. And there's a definite strategy to follow, which is just really interesting. And it's called the bow tie method. And so here's a scorecard for it. And basically, you have all these different colors. You're supposed to close out blue, which I didn't quite manage in this game. And then you're supposed to make the shape of a bow tie in yellow, and then get to as many fox spots as you can in the others, usually in green and purple. And like, that's how to do the game and get the most points. So I started trying that, and I easily get over 300 in like half my games now. So that was really interesting. I love board gamers because you can come to them with a question like that, and someone has studied it within an inch of their life, and they can give you strategy pointers. So I thought that was really interesting, and I have the other versions I'm ordering, and there's a kids version too. So we'll see how that goes. And then we finally played Mint Julep. I've been waiting on this one for a while because usually this is a horse racing game from Button Shy, And usually one of the big wonderful things about Button Shy is that they're games, you get them out, and it's not quite as simple as like the Funko games where you get it and you're up and running in 30 seconds, but it's sort of like that where you read it, there's like a minute or two of rules to figure out, and then you just are up and playing some really nice strategic game. This one, the rules were not great. So shout out to my YouTube friend Speedway Tag, because he had a really nice video that helped us with this, because my husband was helping decipher the rules and we were trying to figure out, and we ended up having to watch Speedway Tag's video, which was a great help for this, and reading through it. So it was a bit of an ordeal to figure out how to play this, but it's a really great game once you get to the basics of what the gameplay is. It's it kind of feels like it feels exciting and fun and like a race, but all you're doing is placing different cards out that are moving your horse that you have a bet on forwards, or moving the other person's horse that they bet on backwards, and you play through a few rounds, and it's really simple. Just the way the rules were written out were really tricky, but the game itself is excellent. So I've been really happy about playing this. A lot of people like to play, there's a big niche for these racing games. Camel Up is like the big one, but that one is longer. It doesn't play for, it's 3 or more players, and is definitely not travel friendly. So to have one that is this big and plays 2 players and up to 4, I've been really happy about this. So I'm very happy. There are some good games that we got out and played. And then just a shout out to the old staples. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and she is so into Uno right now. We play Unocorns together. Play games that your kids can fully understand and enjoy. She's fine with playing new games, but it's good to play some of the old standards. I played just, Solitaire and Uno and Monopoly growing up, and there's not a lot there, but I knew them inside and out and felt very confident in my ability to play these games. And I think that can be really key for kids when it's a foundation. You can have some that are like a little trickier for them to play that you help them out with, but it's nice to have ones where they just sit and play Uno and they know what's going on and they can play it with extended family who come and visit. And so it's just a really easy game and you get good game time in. And then Gigamons, we've had this for years and years. Have we had this for like 8 years? It can be hard to find copies, but it's a memory game. And I don't do well with memory games, but I like this one because it has a little twist. Whenever you flip over pairs of the same little elements, the same matching tiles, you can get a special power that helps you with the game. It's only a 9x9 grid, and you just keep on adding new tiles to it. The first to 3 of the Gigamons, once you get 3, you get to have a Gigamon, wins. And we have, I don't even know how many times we've played this game. And we've been playing it over the break with my daughter because it's familiar. She likes it. The older kids remember it from when they were little and they really like it. It got nominated for the Kinderspiel des Jahres, the German Children's Game of the Year this last year, because weirdly how games get published in different countries, it came out later there, and so that's why it was nominated, I guess. But it's still, I was hoping that it would get published again in the US. It can be tricky to find a copy, but this is just one of our absolute go-tos. So if you find those games that have like staying power in your house that the kids will play for years and years, this is it for us. So it's nice. I like bringing in the new games, and it's exciting to check out new games, but just to have the old staples is so important too. And just to have the game that they've literally played 100+ times and know inside and out, I think that's what really helps develop just a really deep love for board games that will hopefully last for forever, because that's the best. Such great family quality time. So hopefully you had a great holiday of gaming. If there are any special games that you got that just have been a hit, please tell me. because I didn't get that many games for Christmas. So now I can get games for the new year because my New Year's resolution was to play all of my unplayed games, but I keep on getting new ones. So I better get at it. But that's it for me. Stay warm in January, and I will see you next time from Game Like a Mother.